I guess stealing from me wasn't enough. The black people that are stealing from me, including my defense tech and the Pentagon, from my understanding, now they're stalking me. A person at Crush Bar tried to have me order a drink on a credit card that he took from another person. I was walking up to the ATM, the USAA ATM in Georgetown, and a black man makes sure he runs up. I don't know his pace, but defense technology, if this person had access to that, then his access to defense tech in reference to Dustin Miguel should be called into question. Hmm? And then there was a black guy who got really mad at looking at this hat. An Asian woman. I purchased this from her at the San Francisco ferry building area. She sat in front of the building and she crocheted them. And I wanted to give her business. I had a little extra money at that point. That's how I am. And I'm not some. I don't steal. And I don't take what I didn't create and what's not mine. But that's some. That's Michelle Obama. That's Donald Trump. That's Duke Zuniga. That's Clarence Thomas. That's the Robinson family. That's the black people that have affected my life all of my life. So this black woman, after making everyone get in one line in aisle 7, where the aisles are probably too long, fire marshal issue pertaining to crowds. Because I called the fire marshal on some pertaining to locked doors in the stairwells and they didn't come. Robert's residence. So a fire marshal issue at the Safeway on 17th Street. So black woman's trying to manually line everybody up in aisle 7 under her authority. Must be an emergency. It's a fire marshal issue. Which led to this woman's body pushing me. And black people have raped me since I've been a little boy and told me that my genetics are theirs for reproduction. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to be next to this black woman, asserting her unnecessary authority on me because the store was too packed, because the store put too much shit on aisles, because there wasn't enough room to move. In reference to the number of people in there for safety issues. So I said, okay, I'm going to be like this black man as she tries to push me with her body's presence, her physical presence, into this black man pulling out his credit card. I commented, black people, why are you doing this to me? And then she struck me in my head with an object, bacon, a thick thing of applewood smoked bacon. The hat that this black guy at 14th and U told me, why don't you get a different hat? He was pissed when he seen this hat. So later on, a black woman assaults me with bacon in my head because I'm wearing this hat. Welcome to Eleanor Norton Homes, D.C. Fort Hood. This is your Homeland Security. These are the thieves that steal money but don't compensate, and they have access to defense technology. This black guy that told me that, this is at the city building. Muriel Bowser had the, black woman, you're calling them out. Defense technology is being utilized against me. The niggers who know everything about every white family that they're going to steal from, that's Duke Zuniga family. Every last time you scratched your ass. These are the black people that know everything because they're waiting to steal from you because they stole defense technology that's not theirs. And now I'm being tortured with it. At the Muriel Bowser building at 14th and U, that's where this took place, where the LGBTI Queer Center was at, where Mayor Muriel Bowser's resources for the deaf and hard of hearing was set up, and also a big old sign for transportation. Muriel Bowser. And then all of a sudden there was protests with the Homeland Security that's in charge of the Homeland Security DC LGBTI queer homeless shelter. That's special police. That's Homeland. That's Sum's Black. We're taking what's yours and we're stealing from you. That's them. Protest pertaining to an X-ray machine in reference to all the Jews nuked in D.C. You know, my grandpa Clement, born 1 year after the Civil War. And then D.C. was formed, selected between North and South as a district to become the original Holocaust camp pertaining to Southern royal and presidential valid status. Yeah, my grandpa Clement's Secret Service was born 1 year after the Civil War. And then Air Force One, right? My Boeing, which is most likely all these defense technology contracts and dividends have been taken away from the DoD and their retirement funds and put into sums. Now I have news for everybody. My controlling shares, I want to utilize to stabilize the retirements of DoD, including their civilian staff. Sorry, Sam. That's what I'm gonna do, including AT&T. Bye bye. But there was an X-ray machine that black people stopped utilizing and put up a big sign. This is a RSVP black gay event only, and security made sure they had to touch me and physically go through my items because they stopped using the X-ray machine. This is the black people. This is their petty. This is your special police. This is your Homeland Security. This is your Secret Service. I've posted. You can confirm all this. So in front of that building, that's where a black guy told me to stop wearing this hat. That the Asian woman gave me that she crocheted. Because an Asian woman crocheted this for me. Think of the find, education, my family. Which in my case, I'm not beginning high school. I didn't attend high school because I was being trafficked by Michelle Obama's family, who's torturing me. Another federal fucking family. But I'm not going to attend college until all this is settled because my case pertaining to Hawaii in reference to San Francisco can create case law pertaining to education in reference to some. Bring it on, baby. I'm not enrolling in education until case law is made. Help college students, help families. I'm so sorry, son. I'm being facetious. That was sarcasm. I'm not sorry. That needs to be done. But in front of this city building, that's where a black guy threatened me in front of McDonald's at 14th and U. About taking pictures of him. And later on that night, a group of light-skinned black people who looked like they were the some people that stole my family genetics, raped, murdered, and tortured us to have light skin and light eyes, they attacked me and damaged my phone. If I didn't run as fast and if there wasn't a guy there to tell them to stop, they would have beat the fuck out of me. But they did damage my phone, which I had to submit a exchange for. So that's property damage over $500, which is a felony. So yeah, an Asian grandmother at the ferry building sewed this hat for me. I purchased it from her. Sewed it by hand. My grandma Beckman hand, most likely. And I bought it from her, and it made this black guy at 14th and U so physically ill to see me wear this hat that an Asian woman crocheted for me herself. Think Dolly Parton Code of Many Colors, how the black people just stole everything from all these different federal families. And this is the hat I was wearing when I was assaulted with that thick cut block of bacon, applewood smoked. This black woman just had to strike me with it. This is the intention and level of people I'm exposed to in DC Fort Hood. But more concerning, this is your Homeland Security that was formed in 2002 that's killing the Pentagon. That was formed the year my grandma Idabel Borrell Verrett died. The wife of my grandpa Mitla Santine Baptiste Verrett, 2023. Like some 23 begins their federal tax ID. Secret Service moved over. And then 2004, my grandpa Mitla Antine Baptiste Verrett, my pontiff grandfather, who practiced religion until he retired. My pontiff grandfather, who was a, who preached until he retired, died in 2004, 1 year after Secret Service moved over. And these are the people handling your money, the Secret Service, Homeland, and responsible for our safety. She just had to hit me with Applewood smoked bacon with this hat that this Asian grandmother sewed for me. What happened to my grandma Beckman, it's unacceptable. But if I can reconnect with an old great Asian grandmother that probably has a part of my grandma Beckman in her, and she can't tell me that because of the way things are currently, or I see an older person, which by time I'm able to speak to them, if I'm able to get security clearance pertaining to being completely open about what took place and how they came into the world and how I came into the world pertaining to my family, they might be gone. That's the difference. The love and mutual respect of a person I just smiled at a couple times and promised, like the black woman sitting in front of Safeway. I told her when I had money, I'd give her money. And I took money out when I had it and gave it to her. I told the lady, because I seen her a couple times, I'll purchase this from you when I have money. And I did. And that's the difference. That's the love. That's the coming together after horrific actions pertaining to people from different backgrounds, that there's a small piece of each other shared. And this black woman, that Safeway, where the LDS Freemason, your frozen atom box is placed on the wall, hit me in the head, my pontiff Jew self, my royal presidential banking industry self, had to hit me in my hat that this black guy complained about because an Asian woman, and he most likely has defense technology, so he knew the last time I shit, but complained on 14th and U, the area I was attacked by black people associated with some, from my understanding, because a light-skinned black guy with 3 crosses appeared after, most likely representing AT&T, etc., the stolen technology for intelligence and dividends from my family. So she had to hit me in my head. She had to strike me in my hat that an Asian woman with bacon, smoked bacon, Applewood smoked bacon, that this grandma gave me, that I purchased. Yeah, this is what's going on with me. Giant Food hasn't settled after being scarred on my right leg, and I'm still unsafe in DC Fort Hood. And the DoD hasn't provided my defense dividends, and defense technology is still being utilized to torture me till I'm dead. And there was a reference earlier today with the elevators here at the Roberts residence indicating that I'm to be killed at age 43, and pertaining to what was going on around me at the time. So my legitimate birth can end, and all claims I have to rip my Lockheed, Boeing, and everything away from some and make sure it's brought back to the DoD where it belongs to shore up pensions and retirements. Everything that was stolen from me, like what took place with my grandma Beckman and finding common ground with that old grandma that sewed me this hat. What's done is done. How are we moving forward? How are we protecting families? Diapers are expensive. Retirement's expensive. If everything's going to be stolen by some that's killing the DoD, you ain't going to have no retirement. And I think that's the point. Kill the DOD, there's only some left. And once you're black now, what's your account number? Look at Spain, look at England, the royal families there, the money, the South America. So I can't go to the 17th Street gay Safeway anymore because that's black. It's a Bob, and I was struck there in the head, which is assault by a black woman who wanted to hit the Jew pontiff with bacon because a black person with defense technology access complained about me wearing this hat. And my ears, sounds are being simulated in my ears to torture me in voices pertaining to defense tech, which I don't have access to bidirectional communication. After what took place with my grandpa, most likely revived. And defense tech, which, if my grandpa was alive, and then shouldn't he have a paycheck that's due to me, Department of Defense, if he was revived after 81? Because I'm his grandkid with the standard Form 50B on file, my grandpa paycheck, shouldn't that be put into my account, Department of Defense? A payment oversight pertaining to my grandpa Vernon? Alright guys, I need to go get some food. I'm in DC Fort Hood and I'm unsafe, so the people around now, if you're here for my safety while I'm being tortured, from education to kicking some of the fuck out of Europe and South America and the Department of Defense takes place, and allowing people to earn their own merit to get access to defense tech pertaining to strategic awareness and preparedness for the country, I appreciate that. Now, a lot of people, even the black people, now it's not just black people who won't like that, but because people have been so greedy for so long, that's why some got so much power they have. Some stalked me in Italy, they stalked me in Jerusalem and made sure my trip to Israel for commencement was cut short. Israeli security stole my scooter, which was electric, told me I didn't have a helmet. Wonder who gave that order. Was it Michelle Obama? She appeared on my Facebook after. It's your first lady, y'all. This is Homeland Security. This is the power they have. And these people, these black people, hate Spaniards and Jews and Catholics, and I'm pontiff, and I'm royal pontiff, and I'm Jew, and I'm royal Jew, and I'm valid presidential grandkid, which was banking industry, FBI, Bonaparte, my grandma Beckman, and Secret Service, my grandpa Clement, my grandpa Rodolphe, and then my grandpa Vernon drafted into the DOD, although the things that were done to my grandpa Vernon took place. My grandpa Vernon wasn't the only one, and the DOD, any back pay my grandpa has, the DOD needs to give that to me. They need to deposit that in my Navy Federal account, which I think is Navy Federal's under some too. Go figure. You fig, you dig, we're getting rid of the Jews, the Spaniards, the Catholics, the Latinos, the brown people. Sopping it all up like Queen of the Ratchet of Biscuit. Taking what isn't ours, we didn't invent anything. We're not royal. We're not legitimately royal. They're not. But they're ending us, torturing us, and stealing everything we have. But yeah, let's circle back. I'm going to go get some food. Anyone who's here to make sure, while I'm being tortured, black people don't kill me and hurt me severely and steal my genetics from my body and my bone marrow, etc., to make illegitimate people, to make sure DOD money that was stolen from the DOD is returned to the DOD, and my AT&T, etc., is used to shore up retirement, pensions, etc., including civilian operations. I shouldn't have to live like this while being tortured, but all right, guys, I'm gonna go get some food. All right.